You just said something embarrassing, your face is already burning, you didn't choose this, your body did it without asking you, and here's the strange part. No other animal on Earth does this, not your dog, not a chimpanzee, not a single one of the 8 million species you share this planet with, only you turn red when you're humiliated. Only you have a face that confesses your feelings before your mouth can catch up. Why would evolution build something so useless, so uncomfortable, so completely out of your control? The real answer is far stranger than embarrassment. It has almost nothing to do with you, and everything to do with the people watching you. Start with the obvious question: what actually happens when you blush? Your brain senses a threat, not a physical one, a social one. Someone noticed you, someone judged you, that registers in your brain the same way a predator would, and your nervous system reacts almost instantly. Blood vessels in your face widen, blood rushes to your cheeks, your ears, sometimes your neck, your skin heats up, you can feel it before you can explain it. This is your sympathetic nervous system, the same system that triggers fight or flight, but blushing is neither fight nor flight, it's something else entirely. Scientists call it a third option. Appeasement. Your body isn't preparing to run or attack, it's broadcasting a signal, and that signal is aimed directly at the people around you. Charles Darwin was obsessed with this. In 1872, he called blushing the most peculiar and most human of all expressions. He studied it across cultures, across ages, across every group of people he could observe, and he found something remarkable. Blind people who had never seen a blushing face in their lives still blushed. That told Darwin something important. This wasn't learned, you didn't pick it up by watching other people. It was already wired into you before you were born, so if it's not learned, where did it come from? This is where the story gets interesting. Psychologist Ray Crozier, who spent decades researching blushing at Cardiff University, proposed that blushing isn't really about the embarrassing moment itself, it's about being seen. You can do something clumsy alone in your kitchen and feel nothing. Do the exact same thing in front of a room full of people, and your face goes red instantly. The trigger isn't the mistake, the trigger is exposure. Think about what that means for a species like yours. Humans didn't survive as lone hunters roaming the wilderness, you survived in groups, tight, interdependent, socially bonded groups. Your ancestors depended on the tribe for food, protection, and survival. Getting kicked out of the group wasn't an inconvenience, it was often a death sentence. So what happens when you break a social rule in front of that group? You need a way to say, immediately and visibly, I know I messed up, I'm not a threat, don't cast me out. Blushing does exactly that, it's involuntary, which is exactly why it works. A fake apology can be faked, a red face can't. Your body is providing proof, written directly onto your skin, that you feel genuine remorse. Researcher Mark Leary at Duke University describes this as part of what he calls the sociometer theory. Your self-esteem itself functions like a gauge, constantly monitoring how included or excluded you are by the group. Blushing is one of the ways that internal gauge becomes visible on the outside. Here's the part that should genuinely surprise you. Blushing doesn't just happen when you do something wrong, it happens when good things happen to you in public too. Win an award in front of a crowd, get complimented unexpectedly, have someone sing happy birthday to you, your face goes red. In all of these situations, even though nothing embarrassing occurred at all. Why would your body treat praise the same way it treats humiliation? Because the common thread isn't shame, it's attention. Any sudden, unwanted focus on you, whether good or bad, spikes the same physiological alarm. You are being watched, evaluated, judged. Your nervous system doesn't distinguish between good judgment and bad judgment in that first instant, it just registers. Eyes are on me. And that ancient trigger, built for a world of small tribes where being watched by everyone could mean life or death, still fires exactly the same way at a birthday party in a restaurant. Now here's where it gets even stranger. You can't stop it. You can try to control your breathing, you can try to slow your heart rate, but you cannot consciously will your face to stop turning red. Try it right now. Can't do it on command, and you can't suppress it once it starts. This is unusual. Most human expressions can be faked or masked to some degree. A smile can be forced, tears can sometimes be held back, blushing overrides you completely. Some researchers believe this lack of control is actually the entire point. If you could fake a blush, it would lose all its value. Deception only works if the signal can be manipulated. Trust only works if it can't. By making blushing completely involuntary, evolution created something almost impossible to counterfeit. It's a signal your ancestors could rely on. If someone's face went red, the group could trust that the emotion was real. There was no room for social liars to talk their way around a biological reflex. This explains why blushing seems to embarrass us even more. You blush, and then you become aware that you're blushing, and that awareness makes you blush harder. It's a feedback loop. Your body knows it's exposing you, and somehow that knowledge only amplifies the exposure. Have you ever noticed how trying to hide a blush only makes your face hotter? There's also a fascinating twist that shows up in more recent research studies using observers rating strangers in embarrassing situations, including work referenced by psychologist Decker Keltner at UC Berkeley, found that people who blushed after a mistake were rated as more trustworthy and more likable than people who showed no visible reaction at all. The blush wasn't punished by onlookers. It was rewarded. A flushed, embarrassed face made people seem more human, more sincere, more worth forgiving, which means the thing you've spent your whole life trying to hide might actually be working in your favor the entire time. Consider what your ancestors' lives actually looked like. Small bands of humans, maybe 50 people, everyone knowing everyone, reputation built over years of shared meals and shared danger. In a world like that, a visible signal of, I recognize I broke a rule, and I care what you think of me, wasn't a weakness, it was social glue. It held fragile alliances together. It smoothed over the countless small frictions that come from living in close quarters with the same people for your entire life. You don't live in a 50-person tribe anymore, but your nervous system doesn't know that. It still reacts as though every mistake happens in front of the same tight-knit group your survival once depended on, even when it's a stranger on a train who saw you trip. So the next time your face burns after tripping on a sidewalk, or fumbling a sentence in a meeting, or getting caught singing along to a song you thought no one could hear, remember what's actually happening. Your body isn't malfunctioning, it isn't betraying you. It's running code written hundreds of thousands of years ago, code designed to keep you inside the group that once meant the difference between life and death. You didn't choose the blush, you never will, and now you know why. Your face is already burning. This time, though, you know exactly what your body is trying to say, and it isn't confessing weakness. It's proving, in the only language your ancestors ever fully trusted, that you still belong.